get back to it. So I am running for Maryland's 7th Congressional District. We have a special election. We have a primary February 4th, which is exactly four weeks away from today, where Republicans can vote for the Republican nominee and the Democrats can vote for the Democrat nominee. Again, we have closed primaries here in Maryland, so if you want to vote for me, you literally have to switch parties or join the Republican Party if you're an unaffiliated and live in District 7. Every vote is going to count. I remember in college, we were in a class called Introduction to American Politics, and I remember our professor saying, "Oh, your vote doesn't matter unless you're a tie maker or a tiebreaker." Newsflash then, that was before 2002 when I graduated. 2004 was the Bush v. Gore situation. I say debacle because the Supreme Court should not have ruled on that. It's a political issue, and the rest is history. I slightly digress. So here, voters, Republican voters, are super excited. We connected with a bunch of them this week. They are like excited. You know, you knock on doors. I miss knocking on doors. I was a field organizer for the Democratic Party. That was the big gripe in 2014, is that they thought that we were relying too much on calls and not really door to door. It is what it is. But we've been connecting with voters ever since. And people, again, it's one of the reasons why I'm able to continue to do this, regardless of like the negative pushback and friends switching allegiances and then talking smack about you right in front of your face. Like, it's really weird. There was a lot of bad energy at the end of the year. And again, thank God we're at a new year, we're a new beginning. And you got to be mindful of like, what do you do when you deal with negativity like that? There's a lot of stuff being said about me and my lack of republicanism, which is just stupid, to be honest, because some of the people who are criticizing me are the exact same people who helped me along my journey. So it's really disingenuous to say, "Oh, she's a rhino," when you were the one who helped me understand what party policies were, you know, what conservatism is, all of it. So if you're going to blame anybody about my lack of street cred, if you will, blame it on yourself, because the party here in Maryland is so small. I don't want to rehash it, but people know, the establishment knows, that this election, my campaign, my second nomination within 2 years of receiving another nomination for the Republican Party, only 4 years after leaving the Democratic Party, after, as I said, a lifetime of being a Democrat. This demographic specifically needs conservative principles. This whole region is like literally, again, when you connect with voters, you know how frustrated they are. It's not just now. It has been pervasive. It has been generational. It's been for decades. The Maryland Democratic Party is the oldest established party on the face of the planet, to be honest. They have been controlling Maryland. They have been controlling Baltimore specifically, like gangsters. Some of them are gangsters, to be honest. And they despise, again, darkness despises light. As little of light that shines on darkness, watch the cockroaches run. Talk about rats, cockroaches, corrupt people, whatever you want to call it, the devil, whatever you want to say. Shining the light on all of it is the only way you can address it. And some people are focusing on downtown Baltimore in certain neighborhoods, as they should, of course. But across the state, that corruption is everywhere, especially in high Democrat areas, because you get away with it. People say, how does this happen? Like, you know, why should I vote? You know, gosh, so sad when I meet people, American citizens, even legal immigrants, that are like, my vote doesn't count. I don't have anyone that I really would want to support. They don't look like me. Well, newsflash, we do. We're out there. We are not encouraged by either party, to be honest. Neither party supports strong, intelligent black people. They don't. I'm just going to say that right now. People who are in it know what I'm talking about. You know, when you get involved like I did, whether it's during the governor's race in 2014 and before that, worked at the DNC convention in Charlotte, People know I had very difficult time working so deep into the muck and mire because I wasn't raised that way. You know, my parents, the idea of being fully dependent on the government and the narrative of saying that black men, for black boys, for example, black men are incapable of bettering themselves, and oh, by the way, illegals don't know right from wrong, so therefore you got to bail them out and let them do it because they're lawless and they don't know any better. Like, that is literally what progressive ideology is. And we will talk about communism a lot over these next several weeks because that's what we're dealing with. And again, the people who on both sides benefit from proliferating poverty pimps. Poverty pimps are nonpartisan. There are people who literally only, in the Republican Party, for example, they can only succeed if we continue to lose. And on the other side, they are frustrated by the success we've had because they haven't been this successful. And we continue to be successful. And we will continue to push and continue to push. And they hate it because they can't do it. But at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's not about them, it's about us, the rest of us, all of us. And this district specifically sits right at the heart of it. Again, I'll put a picture of the whole state of Maryland and you will see we have been fighting through it ever since. These lines happened in 2000, 2001, 2002 was one chunk. And then again, a decade later in 2011 and 2012. They have been gunning, again, to eradicate all, not even, again, when you spend more time in this system, when they say, oh, it's not about parties, like, technically, yeah, you're right, it's not. It's about controlling the system and making sure that you pit people against each other so they never question what you tell them. And the moment that you think for yourself, again, that concept where y'all help me learn, again, once you have a moment to think differently, the brainwashing stops. And when you have people like me who have not really been about that at all, because I had a strong family base, again, the importance of family, the importance of fathers and mothers and investment in children, that's not just a fancy notion. It's because we are able to protect our children from the manipulation of their minds and eventually the manipulation of their spirits. That's what we're witnessing, people. And again, it's not just one thing, it's everything. As I say, it's a multi-headed hydra. You think it's one thing? No, it's the other. Oh no, let's try it again. Oh no, and again, and again, and again. And when I started witnessing that, I was like, I don't even understand it, let alone am I going to be comfortable with changing my values and principles in order to support it. It's not about being a bigot, it's not about being closed-minded, it's about literally people who are trying to have they literally have a full-on agenda to ruin your children. I don't have children yet, but I'm seeing it with young people in my life, so that they don't trust you. Do you understand? The more time they spend in these public institutions, including, you got sometimes pre-K, K through 12, college, graduate school. When you spend that much time in institutions, you're institutionalized to that way of thinking. And when you break from it, you get ridicule in order to make sure that other people don't fall off the plantation. When I say it's not about party, if ever people say it's not about party, that's what I'm talking about. It's the entire system. When you break free of the system, they attack you like they attack me. Because they know they don't want more and more people to start thinking. All you got to do is start thinking. You start thinking, and then you start voting differently. Again, being a former Democrat operative, they love being able to count votes. They want to say, because I'm a black woman under the age of 50, I'm turning 40 next month, they want to count on my vote. They don't think, oh, Liz has this interest and that interest, and therefore she might vote for the right candidate and not just party. But again, when Elijah Cummings puts up these signs that say, vote for the Democrats, it's not just support your party. It is, we don't want you to think. And so this special election It's what we've been working for. I didn't know that it was going to happen, but literally every election that we fought through, every election cycle, every conversation, every debate, every door knock, every lesson learned has gotten our team, you specifically, prepared. No other candidate has done that. No other candidate, God bless them, has had to live through it. And thank God I have lived through it because of your prayers and your support. But we are not going to flip this district. We're not going to affect the change. We're not going to get rid of the corruption if we don't finish what we already started. Can you imagine, again, oh, who's Liz? Oh, that's Liz. Oh, what is she doing? Oh, well, she was the 2018 nominee for the Republican Party. Oh, okay. Maybe she has something to offer. Oh, wait, she's the 2020 Republican nominee for this special seat. Oh, wow. The Republican Party really invests in their next generation, or they don't. Do you understand? Like, because we're so involved, we sort of forget to step out and see the big picture. Democrats in this district, whether it's Howard County, Baltimore City, will not vote for anyone, Democrat, Republican, or otherwise, who have attacked the former congressman. Some people believe to death. That's not my words, that's their thought process. And again, I've had my moments of frustration as well, obviously. But you also have to respect and appreciate the voters that you need votes from. I'm already running as a full-on conservative, so like, yeah, I do believe, and a lot of people also know, but they haven't really had the opportunity to take that leap of faith and that understanding to say, okay, yes, I'm a conservative and it's okay for me to vote for a Republican because I know this Republican. You know what I mean? They already know that they can vote for a Republican because he's a moderate Larry Hogan, but they've never had an opportunity to vote for a conservative that they helped raise. We grew up with each other. We were frustrated with the same things that we were silenced as well. I was the only person who was that vocal about it, but I'm not the only person in the former Democratic Party that were as frustrated as I was. Some of them still work for some different elected officials. Some people have tapped out of the system altogether. And the people who have left, I feel for them because, oddly, in every organization, the people who end up leaving tend to be the ones that you should have paid attention to. And that's what we've found, especially over the last few years. The leaders, particularly the black men who were leaders in the Democratic Party, if they did not accept, you don't even have to be black, you don't have to be a man, but specifically in that particular group, if you didn't accept gay rights, you were out. Sam Aurora, my former classmate from Columbia, lost his seat in state delegate because he didn't support gay marriage. He was a Democrat, District 19, I believe. He had initial support from Hillary and Bill Clinton, but he voted with his constituents, who tended to be moderate to conservatives. And he decided not to run again. No, he was pressured not to run. He was ridiculed. He was backbenched. All these moderates that are leaving, Bobby Zirkin was never really a moderate. He was a full liberal, but he was never a radical leftist. All of the people, Casemeyer, left 2 years ago because he said there's no space for people like them anymore in the Democratic Party. Do you understand, like, the reason why I lose my stuff about all this stuff is because it's personal for me. I have friends from the entire spectrum. I have friends who are transgendered. I have friends who are gay. I have friends whose kids are transgendered and gay. I have people whose parents are shifting. Like, they might not speak to me, but I still love them. Do you understand? And so, when you live that and you're that witness, you have options. You either just don't say anything, bite your tongue, or you try to do your best in order to honor God and be able to shine the light, and people will decide and discern for themselves. Because Lord knows I can only handle but so much. attacks and ridicules with no consequences. Sorry, I have no cut cards, you know that. I dealt with way too much crap over the last few years, and I don't have them anymore. Even if I did, I don't have them now. But is this an opportunity for us to really affect amazing change? Absolutely, positively, and the voters know it. Please support me. Please support my campaign. Please come out and door knock with us. We need your money. I'm sorry, we do. The max is $2,800. All the people who I know that could contribute $2,800, most of them are Democrats, and they refuse to support me anymore. That's just the truth. They'd rather have Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House than support someone who they grew up with. That's what I'm dealing with. I have some really fabulous, fantastic supporters, besides my mom, of course. I love you, Mom. Love you, Mom. That have supported us. Small donations, upwards of like $50, $100, $250, $400, $500, all of that stuff, all of those contributions really help. We only have a month away. We got to connect to enough people. Not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody likes you. Newsflash. But we need the right candidate for this nomination. And again, if anybody else could do it, I wouldn't be doing it again. But I was called to do it, and I am willing to fight for the rest of us. I've tried to step out. Took a couple breaks here and there, but once you see what you see, you're moved, right? I was talking to my friend who's a pastor the other day, and he's like, Liz, do you know that prophets usually die before the people see? And I'm not saying that I'm a prophet, but when he said that, I heard him. Are we at that point now where I'd rather choose my life than serve God and represent better and fight for positive conservative solutions because it's too hard? But this is the time for the church, the people, followers of Christ specifically, fellow American citizens, to rally around to make sure that we are not stuck under this corrupt system anymore. That's what we're doing here. And this campaign is literally the only, again, if the other, gosh, I should have done the math already, the 33 other candidates offered what we offer, if I found one, I would have supported that person. But they weren't there because they aren't doing what we need to do. They aren't taking the sacrifice. They're not standing up for the principles that we were raised by. They're not. They are acquiescing. They are cowering, quite frankly, to the communists that took over that party. People know it, and they have no. It's as if over the last 30, 40 years, they believe that the only way and manner they can serve is through the Democratic Party. But that's not true. And the Republican Party, quite frankly, doesn't do anything. I'm not talking about grassroots people. I love grassroots folks. I love the Republican women. They are awesome. They are literally the people who have got me through both personally and professionally and politically these last few years. Thank you all. And we appreciate your support. Visit us, share us, subscribe. 4 weeks, y'all. Thank you so much for your support already. This is it, folks. We can make more history now, but I can't do it without you and without him. Well, not him, but God. All right, God bless you. Stay warm, stay safe, and see you tomorrow.